Say, do what you can, where you are with what you have, and never be satisfied.
Anticipation is the ultimate advantage in business and in life.
Like, you're not 100% sure what could happen if you keep going.
You can do it. Tomorrow is going to be better.
What do you tell people when they ask you, how can I present like you? How can I get better?
The thing that really, really helps is I've learned about the perspective to change my perspective. So for example, I show up to give, and I always remind people that the most important thing about being an effective presenter, an effective speaker, is you have to show up with a giving attitude. You have to show up to give. You know something, you've seen something, you've done something, you've tried something that someone else thinks others need to hear. That's why they invited you to speak. The problem is the number of people who show up to take, to get. And you can see it, it's very plain to see. People ask a question and they say, you'll have to buy my book. Or you could just tell me the answer because you know the answer because you wrote the book, right? But clearly they're trying to drive book sales. It's a taking mentality. Every single slide of their PowerPoint has their Instagram, their email, their website, their Facebook. Well, clearly they want you to follow them. They want you to reach out. The last slide is their website and their email, right? They have a taking mentality. They come up and the first thing they do is tell you their credentials. Hi, my name is, Dr. Blah-de-blah. I have 6 PhDs. I've worked for 55 companies. I advise CEOs and generals. And let me tell you a little something. It's about them. It's very easy and very quick to discern who's the giver and who's the taker. The best speakers, 100% of them. You look at all the top 10 folks, Sir Ken Robinson, Amy Cuddy, Brene Brown, right? Dan Pink, all of them. All of them are there to give. None of them want anything from anybody, not even your approval. I don't know any great speaker that stands in the backstage that goes, I'm gonna get a standing ovation. You may get one if you earn it, if they decide that what you have given them is of value. But that's not the reason you show up. You show up to give.
How many of you guys experience fear when you speak? How many of you, by a show of hands, know that public speaking is fundamental to your industry, your career? By a show of hands. How many of you, by a show of hands, honestly speaking, experience a little bit of fear when we talk about public speaking? Raise your hand. And over the last 3 years, I've had the opportunity to travel the country and deliver presentations like this. And what I've picked up on is that there are certain patterns. There are certain patterns and certain skill sets that, if applied, can make a public speech amazing. If you follow these principles that we're going to talk about today, I don't care what industry you're part of, I don't care what work you're in, I don't care what year you are, I don't care how old you are. I believe if you apply these principles today, you can literally transform where you are and take the journey to where you want to be. Straightforward. I believe there's 3 principles, 3 A's of public speaking, 3 things that I wanted to leave you with today. And I believe if you take action on it, you're going to be like, oh my God, I'm glad I came. So number 1, authenticity engages. November 2017, I was afforded the opportunity to give my first TEDx talk. And man, can I tell you, I was excited. You got to imagine a young professional starting out, ready, 26 years old. And I want to make this very clear. So I'm thinking to myself, and what I used to do is when I prepare, I would give a talk at least 100 times before I give it. Write that down. I give it mentally, I give it out, I talk to people conversationally, in the shower. I'm like, okay, all right, I'm gonna do this, right? And I think to myself, PowerPoint or no PowerPoint? That's all I'm thinking. I'm like, okay, if I give this presentation, should I use the PowerPoint behind me? Should I just use me? Or should I use the PowerPoint? So I'm researching and I'm watching. I've watched more TED Talks than you could possibly imagine. And I'm like, okay, they do this, they do that. Okay, I've seen good ones with the PowerPoint. I've seen good ones without. And what I noticed is I said, you know what? I'm gonna ask my closest friends and family. I'm gonna take a poll. 12 people that I love, that know me well. I said, sister, should I use a PowerPoint? She goes, yeah, something to back you up, use a PowerPoint. I go, mom, should I use a PowerPoint? She says, no PowerPoint. use you. I say, bro, should I use a PowerPoint? He goes, yeah, you need the stats to back up what you've done. I said, cool. I go through the entire list. 6'6". I put the list down and I go, what was I thinking with an even number? I'm getting ready for the biggest speech of my professional life, right? And professionals, people that I love are telling me no PowerPoint, PowerPoint, and it's 6'6". And I'm like, how am I gonna break this tie? And I'm like, wait, I didn't ask one person. I didn't ask myself. I did not ask myself what I would be most comfortable with to present. When we talk about public speaking and why I say authenticity engages, listen to me here. You have to know yourself before you go and seek advice. You have to speak from the gut before you go and ask. Because when you're talking to an audience can feel realness. And you have to be yourself. If you can't be yourself, you will never engage in the way in which you want to. That I have to listen to me first in order to really deliver a message that informs and inspires. Number 2, awareness. Awareness connects the speaker to the audience. And this is what I mean.